more and more evidence is stacking up against YNW Melly, leading into the retrial, as the new lead prosecutor is now re-examining over the YNW Bortlen police interrogation, as this is a recorded interview from the night of the crime of the police questioning YNW Bortlen on what happened. Well, after examining the entire video, the lead prosecutor found something very concerning, so let me explain. On October 26, 2018, while driving home from the recording studio, YNW Melly, Bortlen, sack chaser, and juvie ran into an issue in the street. YNW Bortlen alleges that a vehicle filled with rival street members pulled up to the side of his Jeep and then began using firearms against his vehicle, as the people that were driving in the other car were jealous of the new YNW rap group's success.
Let's talk about why. Are you having issues with anyone?
I mean, we are upcoming artists and stuff, so people like, you know, when you like start doing better than people, they start hating and stuff, you know what I'm saying?
So you had some jealousy issues?
Yeah, it's like jealousy issues, but I haven't really been on there, but like he like, my friend that's way now, God bless, he was telling me like, right, he always was telling me about how people, just like today, he was telling me some folks from up our way.
What's up your way?
Like Vero Beach, like that's where I used to stay, you know what I'm saying? So I grew up there, so that's our hometown, you know what I'm saying?
So what did your friend say about from Vero Beach? What was he saying to you?
He was saying basically just like they were on like Instagram, Facebook, like sneak.
Now, this was never revealed during the original YNW Melly trial. However, it does actually relate to an interview that 100K Track did during the Melly trial, where he would answer the question of why he believes that it was a drive-by and who would want to go after Melly.
Who would want Melly and his friends? Did anybody ever him and the other guys before this happened? You know, Bortlen said this was a drive-by.
When you in the limelight and you're making money and things like that, you're gonna receive hate. You're gonna receive, things from everywhere, from people you know, people you don't know, people who probably feel obligated or feel, entitled to things, people who might not even know you from campaign and just don't like you. So, as an entertainer, your life is always, being somebody or someone.
However, the lead prosecutor would single out one moment in YNW Bortlen's interrogation with the police. It is when the officer asked him, "If you know who did the crime, would you tell me?"
By just telling me the truth, even if it's something that I don't want to hear, but I respect the truth rather than BS, okay? And it's a simple question. If you knew who did this, okay? You may or may not know. If you knew who did this, would you tell me? It's either a yes or no question. Answer.
Honestly?
Yeah, honestly. The truth. You wouldn't?
Because I wouldn't want to be a part of that. I wouldn't want to be.
As YNW Bortlen does not give a firm yes or no answer by using his voice, and instead he shakes his head no. This is because if it was YNW Melly who did the crime, Bortlen would obviously know that. So saying no to the officer using his voice, there is a very high probability that his voice would have cracked while he was giving the answer, which would obviously be due to him lying. That would have then been a clear, obvious indicator to the police that YNW Bortlen knows a lot more than what he's sharing. And apparently it is standard protocol for the police officer to let the person know before every police interrogation to answer every single question using their voice and not by shaking their head. This made the police officer very skeptical on Bortlen knowing what really happened. So he would want in-the-moment details of what occurred while he was driving. How was YNW Bortlen driving? Did he crash into anything? And did he see any license plates or faces?
And I'm driving, ducking for my life, trying to make sure I don't get hit. And you telling me you telling me about some shit. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to make sure I don't get hit. I'm driving. I'm trying to make sure I don't get hit. You know what I'm saying? What I'm gonna be worried about? You know what I'm saying?
I know it's not for you to worry about.
Shit crazy, bro.
But if you tell me it happened there's gotta be some evidence there. There's gonna be broken glass, just like there's broken glass over here when you guys open the doors and stuff like that. Okay, there's gonna be broken glass over there when the windows got out. There's gonna be casings from the people at your car. Okay, there's gonna be evidence over there. Okay, right now There's nothing. I kind of think I know what happened because I got information.
With YNW Bortlen trying to explain to the officers the actions that he was making, it was obvious the officer wasn't buying it at all. Even the officer stated that he believes he knows what happened, but he doesn't really want to come out and say it. This is due to the Jeep that they were driving in, not looking like a regular vehicle that has gone through a drive-by, and it all comes back to what Sergeant Williams revealed after investigating the Jeep, saying that there is no way this could have been a drive-by.
Assignment, which is to determine if this is a drive. And my determination was that this is not a drive-by, and it's based upon this picture here, which is a very good picture to describe it. All of these rounds are done. One is done at a stationary position. The at a stationary position when all but one of these rounds are going in. The one round that has some movement in it, which is round site L here. The actually moving in that to create the little bit of a that you see there.
Okay, a lot of information in that answer, so let's break it down a little bit. You mentioned so I'm gonna zoom in on site F.
So he took note of every single hole inside of the car, and he used what is known as the stick method to find out where they were created from.
Number, you said 17 outside the car. How many rounds were inside the car?
3.
And can you exclude the for Mr. Williams and Mr. Thomas as coming from outside of the car?
Yes. From the driver's side back seat.
As to the shot that Christopher Thomas, where did that come from?
Driver's side back seat.
No. Is it possible for there to have been 2 inside that car?
No.
Why not?
There is no time.
So with Sergeant Williams guaranteeing the crime must have occurred from someone in the back left seat, they would then call YNW Juvie's mother to the stand during trial to confirm who was sitting in that spot.
Can you state your name, your full legal name for the jury?
I'm Leon Phillips.
Okay. And are you related to one of the kids in this case?
Yes, I am.
How so?
I'm his mother.
And who is that?
Christopher Thomas.
Positive 21915. Ms. Phillips, did you see who entered into the occupants who entered into that gray Jeep?
Mm-hmm.
And is that a yes?
Yes.
Do you recognize where your son entered that gray Jeep?
Yes.
Which seat, if you can identify for the jury?
He got in the back seat on the right hand side.
Did you recognize the individual that got into the back seat on the left side, the rear driver's side?
Yes.
And who was that individual?
Jamel.
And Jamel, is that the defendant, Jamel Demons?
Yes, ma'am.
The family of YNW Juvie is very involved, and they are for good reason. Not only is YNW Juvie's mother sharing to the jury where Melly was sitting, but we even saw YNW Juvie's father reveal that he believed Melly was guilty ever since the beginning.
From the day one, I believe that Melly was responsible for my son on October 26th when I first heard the story, because his explanation when I finally talked to him in Cortland on a FaceTime, their response and how they was reacting, they showed no remorse. They didn't act like they was grieving, like they lost a best friend or nothing. They was, in my opinion, they was in the best spirits. They wasn't reacting to, they act like they didn't have to take a loss at all. That's how I took it. And then when I was talking to them, I still had in the back of my mind that something's not right.
It's very clear the new lead prosecutor knows that YNW Melly is guilty, as not only does he want to make sure there isn't another retrial, but he also wants to make sure that Melly doesn't have a chance at receiving a bond, as today he found even more evidence, bringing back in Danny Polo from the original trial. These two together investigated through Melly's social medias, and they found a very concerning post, which is going to end up having Melly stay in jail until after the retrial.
Same thing, the use of the slap term, 5-point star, snake. He's saying he's YSL, he's hanging with Doug, and he puts up his YNW for life. hashtag on it with the 5-point star as well. Mr. Devins has the big B hand signs displayed.
Right, and these individuals again, I'm assuming that's also Young Thug. That's also unknown.
Yes.
Also important to your investigation, correct?
Yes.
Also publicly available for anyone to see and capture.
Now, this ends up revealing that Melly's street team YNW has street ties connected to Young Thug's team YSL. It came at a very convenient time for the police department. Melly's lawyers were just putting in paperwork trying to have a bond release for Melly, but then they end up sharing the new evidence from Melly's Facebook and it was immediately canceled. It all began with a report of, and I quote, Melly's mother, Jamie King, informed a friend about the trial update and the appeal process on Instagram Live. King shares the appeal process could take anywhere from 5 months into a year, meaning the Melly retrial isn't likely to start anytime soon.
It delayed my baby's trial again, so.
So it finished and now you got, it was
a mistrial.
Oh, okay.
And they didn't give him a bond, which I've never heard of people not getting a bond on a mistrial.
I
have a retrial.
I have, cause my kids' people saying happening, no bond. Yeah.
It's like what? And then now it's delayed again because the judge ruled on a bunch of evidence from the first trial that wasn't going to be allowed to be used.
Right.
So the prosecutors appealed the ruling. So now it's gone to the 4th DCA. And that can take anywhere between 5 months and a year.
Yeah,
so you don't like what the judge said because your warrants were illegal.
Very convenient. When Melly has his best chance of release on bond, they end up finding new evidence to have it immediately canceled, which also relates to what Boosie said about Melly, because when the feds want you, they'll do anything to get you.
Now they're putting even more charges on him, and then
when they want you, they want you. I knew they wanted them bad when they waited for that law to get passed. They waited all the way.
Penalty.
So it'd be 8-4.
Oh, right. Yeah.
You know, they waited all the way till that law got passed to take him to trial.
Yeah, he was in jail for what, 2 years, 3 years?
Yeah, they could have been took you to trial.
You're right.
They waited till that law got passed and took him to trial a couple months later. When they want you, man. Just don't see how he didn't get a bond after a fucking mistrial.
Yeah.
That made me like, God damn.
Yeah.
Like, after a mistrial, that doesn't happen, really.
However, Melly's mom didn't want to go out that easy. She tried countering the evidence with a petition because YNW Melly has been sitting inside a jail now for over 5 years. His mother is very concerned about his health and safety, as concerns were rising when it was revealed that Melly's not even allowed to use a phone or even look at his own mail inside a jail.
My son has not been convicted of anything, and even other inmates that have been convicted or anything, they have the right to use a telephone. They have a right to be allowed to write letters to their loved ones, to receive their mail. They hold his mail. They don't give it to him.
As Melly's mom knew she had to make a move to try to save her son, she started a petition to just have law officials look into it. 50,000 signatures later, and we have still heard nothing. Melly's mother would then take it to a public interview to go and state the following.
When you saw Melly's statement, just saying how he's been hurt, how he's scared for his life, as a mother, how did that make you feel?
It's heartbreaking. It made me feel completely helpless. Broward Sheriff's Office definitely needs to be investigated. I mean, they are making up their own rules. We've tried to go to court about this situation. The judge really doesn't have any jurisdiction when it comes to the jail, because we actually had a hearing about the mistreatment of him, and the jail they make their own rules. And I don't think that's fair, because I know that they need to answer to someone too.